Hi everyone, welcome back to my allotment. Today is the 24th of September and it is now time for another tour of plot 1. So general feeling this month is that autumn is rapidly approaching. So things are starting to go over, things are starting to die back a little bit. I'm still harvesting, but things are certainly slowing down. But yeah, so things on the whole are okay. I'm quite looking forward to autumn, to be honest. I like doing bigger projects on the allotment and I've got a lot that I want to achieve this winter. Seeing as I'm sort of by the polytunnel, it seems like as good a place as any to start, and actually it's probably the area of the plot that's seen the most change. So things are slowly starting to creep inside the polytunnel. For example, the samphire has now come inside. That is starting to go over. You can see the yellow creepy in there. In theory it should dry out and self-seed, so we're sort of keeping an eye on that. Bought myself something this month. Bought myself a very tiny little miniature apricot tree. So that's actually going to be for the second polytunnel. But yeah, so that's coming here. I'm still got some marigolds and some chilies. There are still some tomatoes, but they will be coming out very soon. Cape gooseberries are still here, but again they'll be going very soon. Then down here, this is my mooli, which is a type of winter radish. So yeah, that's on the just growing in the polytunnel. I have a favourite preserving book and she uses mooli a lot, so I thought I'd have a go at growing some of that. So that's in the polytunnel. And then I've also bought in, I talked about this in my autumn sowing video, it's called a Hylis unit. So I use this over winter to put my flower seedlings in. Let me just open that up. So this is where I've got all my seedlings at the moment. So I've got my cornflowers, my calendula, my rather pitiful display from the larkspur, some stocks, some straw flowers, hollyhocks and some ammi. And the idea is that they will remain in the polytunnel over winter. Down here, just some spring onions. And then I've got some lettuces, some pak choy and some spring onions over here. And then down here I've got a whole series of lettuce which is doing quite well. May have planted these slightly too close together, but I am using them as leaves at the moment. And then I've got some more lettuce growing down here, and these are some mixed winter greens. So slightly different to a bit of lettuce, but just a bit of variety going on there. So lettuce wise, over winter I tend to grow two types of lettuce. I tend to grow Winter Density and Arctic King. I've had success with those in the past, and I think when it comes to winter lettuce it's kind of stick to what you know. The winter mixed leaves is a new thing for me, but I've got my lettuce, so that's always a good start. So yeah, that's kind of the polytunnel as things stand. Oh, the big thing I did do, I'm going to have to try and find a video of what it looked like before. I tidied up under the polytunnel table, so looking much tidier now. Had a really good organise under there and bought some trays in that I use quite regularly. Bought a little drawer set that I had at home. So yeah, that's looking much neater under there. So starting off at the top of the plot, still got the potatoes growing here. Some of them are starting to collapse now, but they're all flowering, so yeah, they're doing okay. Then we've still got the purple sprout and broccoli here. That should hopefully be ready to sort of start harvesting in the new year. And then when I said that things were starting to die back now and things were starting to go over, this is kind of a prime example of that. So these are my squash plants. This is still a mystery squash plant. You see the leaves are really starting to die back on that now. But for me, they're still not quite ready to harvest. Those stems just haven't quite shriveled up enough for me. And as you can see up here, there's still quite a lot of green. So I'll leave those for a little bit longer and yeah, we'll harvest them possibly in the next sort of few weeks. Then if we come into the brassica cage, the biggest change in here is the fact that the sweet corn's gone. So in the middle here I had my sweet corn, and that's now all been harvested and removed. The other things I've got in here, I've got some cabbages, tender stem broccoli, which I am harvesting. I also seem to have an absolute abundance of whitefly. Now I think a lot of people thought that this plant was kale. It's not, it's actually kalettes. So it's a combination of Brussels sprouts and kale. So much like Brussels sprouts, between the leaf stems and the main stem you should get sort of a little flower that you eat, but it'll be more like a blown Brussels sprouts. Someone gave me a handful of kalettes last year, really liked them, so I'm growing them myself this year, and they are a stunningly architectural plant, beautiful with sort of the green leaves and the really vivid purple stem. Got some red cabbages, not quite sure. And then I have the world's smallest Brussels sprout plants. For some reason they never really got going, but they have got sort of the start of some Brussels sprouts forming, so hopefully we'll get harvest off those in time for Christmas. Some very bolted broccoli. So yeah, that's kind of everything that's in here at the moment. So if we come back out of the brassica cage, so carrot bed's still a great source of disappointment for me this year. So they won't be growing the Chantenay carrots again, we'll be growing the standard carrots. I'll be going back to those next year. Rhubarb, and then I've got my parsnips and my salsify in here. Herb bed's still looking okay, still looking quite tidy. Not sure if I'd done this last time, but these beds have had a bit of a freshen up with some salad leaves through here and some winter salads. I've also, in this very end here, sown some more mooli, so we're trying those outside. Since I last filmed, these have absolutely exploded. They clearly like the slightly cooler weather because they've just gone mad. I'll see if I can find a clip of them from last time I was on here and yeah, show you the difference between the two. Finally got rid of the really bolted radicchio, and then I've actually started harvesting some of my leeks a little bit early. They're a little bit small, but otherwise I find I've got like thousands of leeks come sort of the end of the year. So yeah, started taking a few small leeks off. Raspberry supports are still standing and still growing. They're slowing down now. I am still harvesting from these, but yeah, certainly not quite as rapidly as we were before. Absolute disaster here. So this has completely succumbed to powdery mildew. So yeah, all this white sort of covering on the leaves is all powdery mildew. They're not really producing anymore. Volunteer tomatoes have done nothing. And then yeah, this is my sort of squash mound. Again, all really starting to die back now. I'm not concerned about that in the slightest. That's what they should do. Again, a little bit, few more weeks and I'll be taking those off. Got some great sized butternut squashes now, which I was really negative about them at the beginning of the year, but they are looking so much better. This one in particular is an absolute beast. Butternuts are normally a little bit later than the rest of the squash. These will probably go well into October. And then I just step over the squashes. My marigolds are still looking absolutely fantastic. Certainly going to grow more of these. Add a real sort of splash of colour to the plot with this really vibrant sort of orange and yellow. So I have been saving some seeds off these. Really, really simple to do. As the flowers dry out, seeds are just in the seed head, and they are your marigold seeds. So we'll just sprinkle those down there because I don't mind a few self-seeded marigolds. Down here, sweet peas have completely gone. They need to come out. Dahlia's looking good though. It does need a little bit of deadheading, but that's really doing well now. That's been sort of getting progressively bigger. It's sort of come into its own over the last few weeks. One new thing I've got, someone gave me some turf. So I have a couple of random sort of grass paths. If you watched my plot tour, 2 tour and plans a couple of weeks ago, you'll know that I said one of the things I really wanted was more grass paths. And then this turf has given to me, so I've just rolled it out. I've worked out I need another 12 rolls to be able to do all these small paths up the edge here. So we're going to see if we can acquire those. Chard's doing okay. Great big wooden box is still here. This is another butternut squash plant. There's actually only one here, but it is quite a big thing. Again, that's all dying back now. The random selection of brassicas, I'm still no clearer. Well, I know I've got red cabbage, but I'm still not a lot clearer regarding what they are. So runner beans have been great for me this year. I know a lot of people have had issues keeping them watered, but I've done okay with mine. They are now starting to sort of go over a little bit, so I don't think I'll be getting many more harvests off these, but overall quite pleased with how these have done. Probably a few too many. I've got a freezer full of runner beans now, so a lot of them I am sort of leaving to sort of dry on the plant, and we'll either use them as dried beans over winter or as seeds for next year. So this is the bed here that I said I was going to clear. It had that really sad looking spider mited butternut squash in here, and also the French beans that have gone over at the end. This bed, along with its brand new path, another random path, is reserved for my garlic. So that's where my garlic's going in here, just waiting for that to arrive. Another slightly sad looking courgette plant. We actually had a frost the other night and it just touched the top of these plants. That's actually a little bit of frost damage. A little bit unexpected. It got down to about 5 degrees and yeah, just caught the top of some of my plants. Got an enormous marrow on there. Look at the size of it. Don't quite know what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to ignore it and pretend it's not there for a minute. Again, some brassica beds. Some of them are getting quite slugged and caterpillared, but they've got 2 chances. So we're kind of just seeing how they get on. I have put, so Koya products, not sponsored by them or anything, but they did gift me some of their products, and I've actually put one round one of my brassicas, and it does seem to be keeping it quite clean, so really pleased with that. So I might actually get a few more of them, and that's now my star brassica plant, although don't entirely know what it is. But yeah, it's always typically the ones on the end for me that get absolutely decimated. But there we go. Kale's still here, that's all doing okay. Mixture of Cavolo Nero and Curly Cow. I don't know if you can see that, but probably not coming up on camera because they're so tiny, but I seem to have loads of whitefly scattering about at the moment. It's all round me. Beetroot. I've made a really good start on harvesting the beetroot now. I'm actually going to visit some family at the weekend, so plan is I'm going to take that down and get it pickled, because my mum is the pickling pro. So yeah, on the whole, things not doing too badly. Yeah, again, stunning looking marigold here. These were all grown from seed, so really pleased with those. But so yeah, things are slowly changing, and things are certainly starting to feel a lot more sort of autumnal now. So yeah, much quicker tour this month, I think, because not really that much has changed. The biggest changes have been in the polytunnel, clearing that bed ready for the garlic, and also obviously the squashes look very different to sort of last time we were here. So in a fortnight's time I will be over on plot 2. Not going to take you over there today. It looks exactly the same as it did last time we were there, but yeah, we'll visit that next time. Thanks for watching. If you want more regular updates, come follow me over on my Instagram page. I'll put a link in the description below, and I will see you all again soon.